What's up, YouTube? It's Onion Bomb here on Ascent Sports. Welcome back to my NFL weekly game predictions for the 2019 season. Today, we're going to do week 2. But before I get started in that, let's recap how week 1 went. As you can see on screen, I'm starting off pretty good with starting 11, 4, and 1. And yes, I know I have the tie in there between the Lions and Cardinals. But guys, just so you guys know, I am going to count the tie as if I tied the prediction. The reason for this is I don't want to go against it and say I got the prediction wrong. Because, who's going to predict the tie? That's not really a wrong prediction. But I didn't get it right either. So I'm just going to put how it is and mark it down as a tie. I know it's gonna make the record look pretty weird from here on out, but I don't think it's that bad. All right, let's go recap. The Packers beat the Bears. That was a pretty boring game to start the season, but it did prove to me that the Packers are definitely better than I thought they were. I definitely slept on them. Slept on them is proper English. Then Chiefs beat the Jaguars. I think very similar fashion from last year. Because it's 40-26. I got that right. I got the Packers one wrong. Vikings beat the Falcons. I got that wrong. Titans beat the Browns. It destroyed the Browns. I got that wrong. If you're a Browns fan, don't panic too much. But yeah, maybe turn down your expectations if you thought it was, very high. But Bills beat the Jets by a point. I got that wrong. So I wasn't starting off too good. But then I get pretty good here. Ravens beat the Dolphins. Got that right. Eagles beat the Redskins. Got that right. Rams beat the Panthers. Got that right. That was closer than I thought it was. Chargers beat the Colts. I got that right. That was pretty close, too. That went into overtime with Jacoby Brissett. Chargers are a good team. Seahawks beat the Bengals. Got that right. Cowboys beat the Giants. Ezekiel Elliott signed the contract from when I last made my week 1 predictions. So, yeah, I'll probably be taking the Cowboys more often now. I got that right. 49ers beat the Buccaneers. I got that right. Lions and Cardinals tied. That's where the tie comes in, of course. Patriots beat the Steelers. I got that right. My goodness. That was just a terrible game. That was just a terrible game. As a Steelers fan, that was pretty soul crushing. But I don't know. I almost I made it sound like a close game, and that was not a close game at all. So, however, Saints beat the Texans. I got that right. Even though the Texans look pretty good, so I wasn't sleeping on the Texans. But I just thought the Saints were the better team, and that was a good game, probably the best game all week. And then the Raiders beat the Broncos. I got that right as well. 11, 4, and 1. So let's see what happens this week. What picks I got. All right, so moving into the week 2 predictions. Thursday night football. Buccaneers at the Panthers. I'm going with the Panthers. They played a good game against the Rams. I think I slept on them too. The only reason I'm not really accepting it as much as the Packers, or I'm feeling as ashamed of it as me sleep on the Packers, is because I really didn't know what was going on with Cam Newton. I thought he was kind of injured. I don't think he is now. So it's just quarterback's very important. I think if Cam Newton wasn't playing, which I thought could be a possibility, then yeah, I think the Panthers would be a lesser team. But yeah, they're not. So they're probably better than I think they are. So I'm definitely gonna take them to beat the Buccaneers. I think they're definitely a better team than Buccaneers. So yeah. Buccaneers lost to 49ers. Panthers lost to Rams, but played them close, and the Rams are a much better team than the Buccaneers. So, yeah, Panthers, Buccaneers, that's my pick. All right, moving on to the Sunday 1 o'clock games. The Cardinals at the Ravens, and I got the Ravens. Man, as a Steelers fan, like I said, as much as I hate to admit this, man, the Ravens are good against the Dolphins. I know, not saying much, it's the Dolphins, but man, Lamar Jackson was like, what, the youngest QB ever to have a perfect passer rating. That's pretty cool. He said not bad for a running back, which is cool how he's using that meme against people now. But yeah, I just think even without like Lamar Jackson balling out, man, this could be honestly the Cardinals aren't that much better than the Dolphins. I'm surprised they did what they did against the Lions. So I think the Ravens are gonna get this one. This might be a part 2 Lamar Jackson eating. So yeah, I think that's a relatively easy pick there, unless the Cardinals surprise me. I like the Ravens to beat the Cardinals. Alright, next up we have the Chargers at the Lions. Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers. I still think they're a playoff team. The Lions, I thought they were going to beat the Cardinals, but they tied them, so that's not really too good for them. So, yeah, I think the Chargers are the clear better team here. So I'm going to take the Chargers to beat the Lions. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Just Lions, I'm surprised that they tied the Cardinals. Wasn't expecting that. But, on the other hand, the Chargers, played, the Colts, the Jacoby Brissett-led Colts. I don't know, maybe Jacoby Brissett's better than I think he is, but, yeah, that game went to overtime, but I think the Chargers are going to get this one over the Lions regardless, and that's my pick for the game. Alright, next up, we have the Colts at the Titans, and this is kind of a pick that's even surprising myself, but I'm going with the Colts. And I'm basing this all off a gut feeling that the Titans are going to get upset after destroying the Browns. Like, I feel like, I feel like the Titans, like, they showed what they can do, they look good, and then they're like, oh, yes, we're going to, but then, like, they're just going to get disappointed next week. I don't know. Certain teams, from doing these predictions, like, I learned that you can't necessarily go off of one game, because if you do that, it just, it's not going to work out all the time. And, like, some teams perform one week and then flop the next. I just think, this is just a gut feeling. I think the Titans are going to flop. And the Colts, Jacoby Brissett's going to be pretty shocking. And this is going to be kind of like one of those shocking victories. Because, the Titans seem like the team I should pick here. But I'm going with the Colts. I think they're going to get an upset here. Alright, next up we have the 49ers at the Bengals. I'm going with the 49ers. Bengals played a nice game against the Seahawks, only lost by a point. 49ers, they were hanging in there for the Buccaneers, but they broke away and beat them like I expected them to. So yeah, I think they're the better team. I don't know if they have what it takes to make the playoffs yet. I think if anything, they could possibly make a wild card, but I think they might just miss. So yeah, I think they do have what it takes to beat the Bengals here. So that's why I'm taking the 49ers over the Bengals. Next up, we have the Jaguars at the Texans. I'm going with the Texans. Poor Nick Foles broke his clavicle, shoulder, something like that. Yeah. Man, feel bad for Jags fans. But yeah, I think the Texans are the better team here. Plus, it's their home field, divisional game. I think the Texans are gonna win this. Yeah, they don't got their rookie quarterback, I heard, wasn't doing too bad, but I think the Texans are gonna beat this because they nearly beat the Saints. So I like the Texans here. I think they're gonna win this game over the Jaguars. Alright, next up we have the Vikings at the Packers, and man, we got the Vikings, a team that I think is still pretty good, and we have the Packers, a team I'm personally sleeping on. But here, I'm taking the Packers. I'm feeling the Packers in this game. I don't know. I think it's more of like, I want to like prove to myself also that I don't want to sleep on the Packers. Plus, I think, I just think they're gonna win this. The Vikings, they seem good, but so did the Packers. So this is gonna be a good game. I think the Packers are gonna win this one though. Not too much to explain there. It's just that's a good matchup, divisional game. That could go either way, honestly. I think it's gonna go the way of the Packers. All right, next up we have the Cowboys at the Redskins. I'm going with the Cowboys. Definitely a game that they can probably beat here, win here with Ezekiel Elliott. The Redskins, they choked really bad against the Eagles. They were like up by 20 and they lost. Maybe they can win this one, but I think the Cowboys are gonna win. I don't even think there's going to be a game to choke here. I think the Cowboys are the better team. Upset maybe, but I just don't think here. Alright, next up we have the Seahawks at the Steelers. So my game with my team. I'm going to take my team. I'm taking the Steelers. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, what? Have you seen that Patriots game? Yes, I saw this Patriots game, but I know my team. The last 2 years started OD slow. The 0-16 Browns, they almost lost to, but they won very slimly. They tied to the Browns led by Tyrod Taylor last year. I think that's just, Steelers rust, but against New England at New England, and it showed 33-3. I think the Steelers are going to come out on top here. And just, this is the statement game, I think, is that's going to be what should have been last week, what people thought was going to be last week. I just think, Steelers coming off of a tough loss are going to work to regroup. Seahawks won the Bengals, just barely though. So if the Bengals can almost beat this team, I think the Steelers have what it takes to beat this team. Maybe that's just my Steeler bias talking, but I'm comfortable taking the Steelers against the Seahawks. Alright, next up we have the Bills at the Giants. I'm going with the Bills. The Bills were actually a couple people's dark horses for a wild card team. And they beat the Jets, not by too much though, by a point. Giants didn't look too good. I think the Bills better team. I think they're gonna beat this. Bills, do they have what it takes to be a dark horse this year? We'll have to see. I do think they're gonna get this one over the Giants though, and get back-to-back New York wins. Alright, next up, the final 1 o'clock game, and this one is kind of a hard pick. It's the Patriots at the Dolphins. I know you guys are like, how is this a hard pick? Clearly Patriots. But, at the Dolphins is key. Last 2 years, they've lost this game. However, they have a B now, and the Dolphins, half their team once traded. So, the only thing that's holding me back from this is if the Dolphins win, and I pick the Patriots, I'm going to be so mad because I would take the Dolphins, but the Patriots started off really good. It's not looking like they started slow, and they have won. It's not like they can't win in Miami. It's not like the Steelers, like they can't win in Foxborough, never have. They have won before in Miami. It's just Brady doesn't play that well. I'm going to take the Patriots. I think no matter like how rusty they are in Miami, I don't just too many like good things about the Patriots and bad things about the Dolphins. And I mean, if they lose this game, like, yay, but if they win this game, like, they should. Dolphins need a miracle, literally, last year to win this game, so it's not like it's a lock thing. So yeah, I'm taking the Patriots, even though, and this is a prime example. in my 2019 record predictions for the Patriots, I had them losing this game. So, in case you're wondering, is this gonna be the same as your previous predictions for like the record? No, I definitely change up picks and pick as the week. I don't even remember most of my picks, honestly. I just remembered that one. Alright, now in the 4 o'clock games, we have the Chiefs at the Raiders. I'm going with the Chiefs. Raiders got a nice win to start the year, but I don't think they're going to get one against the Chiefs. Home field or not, I think the Chiefs are going to be too good. And, yeah, I think the Chiefs, clear better team, clear more playoff potential, probably playoff potential. We're talking Super Bowl pick here for some people, a lot of people. So, yeah, Chiefs over the Raiders, definitely. Alright, next up we have probably the game of this week. We have the Saints at the Rams. And this is going to be a really good one. And I'm still taking the Saints. I am taking the Saints. I really like this as a revenge game for the Saints. Rams and Saints, they both played their opponents close this week. However, I think the Saints had the tougher one in the Texans and the Rams did in the Panthers. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just sleeping on the Panthers. But regardless, I'm still taking the Saints. I just think they're going to be out with a vengeance. I think this is going to be a great game. But I think the Saints are just going to take this one on top and get on top. Alright, last one of the 4 o'clock game. We have the Bears at the Broncos. Bears, disappointing. I thought they actually could beat the Packers. Broncos, I figured they were going to lose to the Raiders here. I don't know. Didn't look too good. Probably the best thing about both of these teams is the Bears' defense. I'm going to take the Bears here. I think they're the better team. Maybe I'm overhyping the Bears, but I don't think I'm hyping them enough that they're going to lose to the Broncos. Maybe they will, but I'm going with the Bears winning this game. I think they will. Next up, we have Sunday Night Football. We have the Eagles at the Falcons. Good game. Bird matchup. I'm going with the Eagles. I still think the Falcons can be a wild card team, even though I thought they were going to win last week. But, the Eagles, I think, are the better team, and they're a lot of people's pick to win the NFC East. So, I think the Eagles are going to win this. Falcons do play pretty well at home. It is early in the year. Eagles might... Yeah, I'm not going to go back on it. I'm going to stick with the Eagles. I've already said it. That's a toss-up, though. That's definitely a toss-up. Alright, last up we have Monday Night Football. The Browns at the Jets. Browns got destroyed by the Titans and everyone, Browns fans are a bit upset. Hopes might have been a bit too high. A lot of people are saying the hype is over. It's just hype, Oh, a lot of things change after one loss. All off season, everyone was like, "Oh, Browns are gonna win the division. Oh, win the AFC North." Now everyone's like, "Oh, overhyped." Ravens got it, because I know they're not saying the Steelers go after that freaking dumb performance of. I'm not kidding. So we're talking about Browns and Jets. Yeah. I'm picking the Browns. I'm picking the Browns again. Jets coming off a close game against the Bills. Like I said, Browns coming off get destroyed. It's not over. It's not over for the Browns. They're just like any other team. They still got their talent. I do think this is a wake-up call for some Browns fans. If they thought they were going anywhere from 16-0 to even 12-4, 11-5, hopefully okay, that might not happen. I still think they could go 10-6. That was my original prediction, and I think they're gonna get a win here over the Jets. Nothing really against the Jets. It's just I feel like they're gonna lose to the Browns. Who knows? Maybe Le'Veon turns up. Will We'll never know. Well, we will know, but I'm still taking the Browns. I think they're gonna turn it back this week too, and give Bears spirits in Cleveland. Let's recap, shall we? That was the final game. We got I have the Panthers beating the Buccaneers, the Ravens beating the Cardinals, the Chargers beating the Lions, the Colts beating the Titans, the 49ers beating the Bengals, the Texans beating the Jaguars, the Packers beating the Vikings, the Cowboys beating the Redskins, the Steelers beating the Seahawks, the Bills beating the Giants, the Patriots beating the Dolphins, the Chiefs beating the Raiders, the Saints beating the Rams, the Bears beating the Broncos, the Eagles beating the Falcons, and the Browns beating the Jets. And that is my prediction for all the Week 2 matchups. If you want to know how I did, make sure you watch Week 3's prediction. Like we did with Week 1 this week, I'm going to recap and show how I did record-wise. And we'll see how that adds on to this week's record, Week 1. And yeah, we can see how I'm doing overall, and you can see how I did for just Week 2. So don't miss that. But for now, that's going to do it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like or dislike, subscribe or don't subscribe. No, it's always up to you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Watch out for me. Goodbye.